Good morning, viewers over the world. You're welcome to this first section of the webinar training of the month, and we'll be treating Introduction to Sustainable Mining. First of all, in case you missed our previous webinar trainings, you can just hook up or join us on our YouTube channel. You can search for Rich Flood International and Social Specialist, or you can go to richflood.com/learning. There you can register for the upcoming trainings. And with this, without wasting much time, I will introduce you to the presenter that will be taking the introduction to sustainable mining, which is Mr. Ojo. Mr. Ojo, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. So you're welcome to the first module of the training, which is Introduction to Sustainable Mining. So we're going to be looking at the concept of sustainable mining. How do we mine sustainably? And then we are going to be moving into the second aspect, which is safety methods in mining. So by way of introduction, what is sustainability? According to the United Nations World Commission on Environment and Development, sustainability refers to the various approaches that focus on meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. So sustainability is just telling us that how do we make use of these present resources without tampering with the future, the needs of the future generations. And the concept of sustainability is composed of three pillars. That is the economic, the environmental, and then the social. And then by way of economy, we mean the profit. How does this mining methods, how does it bring profit to the organization? Of course, the purpose of establishing mining is for us to make profit. So the first sustainability concept is economical. So we'll be looking at, okay, when we are mining, how economical it is. And then the second concept of sustainability is environmental. The mining operations, does it have a benefit to the environment, or there are some negative impacts it contributes to the environment? So that's the second concept of sustainability. And then the third one is the social aspect. And by means of social aspect, we refer to the people. How does your mining operations, how does it affect the people, both the employers and then the people that are living around your mining site? All right, so this chart is showing us the three pillars of sustainability, that is the environment, the economy, and then the society. By society, we also means that the social aspect, that is the people that are working in the mining site, and then other people that are living around the mining site. All right, so what is mining? Mining is the process of extracting valuable minerals, and these valuable minerals can be metallic or non-metallic and other geologic materials from the earth. The materials that can be recovered by mining include metals. We can mine coal. We can mine gemstones like ruby, beryl. We can mine limestone, dimension stones like marble. We can mine rock salt. We can mine potash, gravel, clay, and so on and so forth. And mining is required to obtain any material that cannot be grown through agricultural processes or created artificially in a laboratory or factory. So the main purpose of mining is there are some materials, there are some substances that cannot be gotten through agricultural means or by way of artificial creation in the laboratory. So that is why mining is required. And what are the types of mining? Basically, mining methods are plenty, but they are categorized into two common excavation types. The first one is surface mining. So surface mining, and then the second one is subsurface, that is the underground mining. And then the materials that are mined, there are materials that are recovered through these mining methods can either be placer deposit or the lode deposit. And by way of placer deposit, we mean those valuable minerals that are contained within river gravels, the beach sands, and then some other unconsolidated materials. And then when we are talking about the lode deposit, we mean those valuable materials that can be found in veins. Veins are just small rock bodies that are within a large rock body. So those veins, they carry some valuable minerals and some gemstones. And other examples of lode deposits are layers of mineral grains that are generally distributed throughout a mass of actual rock. So actually, rock is an aggregate of minerals. It can be a rock can contain a single mineral or many minerals. And so when we want to recover all those minerals from the rock, what we use is mining methods, which can be either surface mining or subsurface mining. All right, so let's move to surface mining. What is surface mining? Surface mining is one of the oldest methods in mining. It has been in existence for a very long time, and it is done by removing surface vegetation, the depth, and if necessary, layers of bedrock in order to reach the buried or deposit. So when we are talking about surface mining, are those mining in which you just have to remove the overburden layers. Overburden layers are just those layers, those materials that are covering what we want to recover. So when we are doing surface mining, we just remove them. And then the techniques of surface mining include open pit mining and then placer mining. By open pit mining, we mean is the recovery of materials from an open pit in the ground, and it is a method of stripping surface layers off to reveal ore or seams underneath. Open pit or open cast mining is usually employed to exploit a near surface deposit or one that has a low stripping ratio. So when we have some minerals that are near to the surface, some minerals that are near to the surface, so we use open pit mining. A good example of open pit mining is quarry. So when we have some rock bodies that are near to the surface, so what you just need to recover all those rock bodies or all those minerals is to do open pit mining. It's just a way of removing the overburden layer and then getting into our minerals that we are interested in. It is a strip mining in which the ore deposits extend very deep in the ground, necessitating the removal of layer upon layer of overburden and ore. All right, so that's all about the first type of, and then the second type is placer mining. Placer mining is used when the matter of interest is associated with sediment in a stream bed or floodplain. So basically, what we use placer mining for is those minerals that are associated with sediment in a stream bed or floodplain. We can recover them by using bulldozers, dredges, or hydraulic jets of water. A process that is called hydraulic mining are used to extract the ore. Placer mining is usually aimed at removing gold from stream sediment and floodplain. So there are different ways in which gold occur, and one of them is alluvial occurrence. So when gold occurs in alluvial environment, what you just have to do to recover all those gold is through placer mining. Because placer mining occurs within the stream bed, it is an environmentally destructive type of mining, releasing large quantities of sediment that can impact surface water for several miles downstream of the placer mine. So placer mining basically is used to recover all those minerals, all those gemstones that are associated with the stream bed. So, and when we are doing our recovery method, when we are doing our mining, there are some ways in which it will impact the water bodies that is close to the sediment. So placer mining actually is an environmentally destructive type of mining in which it can just release some quantities, some toxic substances into the water that are associated with the minerals in which we are interested in. So that's all about the surface type of mining. So the second type of mining is the underground mining. It consists of digging tunnels of shaft into the earth to reach buried ore deposit, or for processing and waste rock for disposal are brought to the surface through tunnels and shaft. So basically, in underground mining, what we use is digging tunnels or shafts to be able to reach into the location of those minerals that we are interested in. And the process and waste rock for disposal are brought to the surface. So those tunnels and shafts that are dig to get into where all those minerals are located, they are also the means in which the waste rock and then the minerals that they have exploited, they are the means in which they are being brought to the surface. So, and those means are doing tunnels and shafts. In underground mining, a minimal amount of overbody is removed to gain access to the ore deposit. Access to this ore deposit is gained by tunnels or shafts, as I've explained earlier. Tunnels or shafts leads to a more horizontal network of underground tunnels that directly access the ore. So in an underground mining method called stoping or block caving, so these are type of underground mining methods. Sections or blocks of rocks are removed in vertical strips that leave a connected underground cavity that is usually filled with cemented aggregate and waste rock. So although underground mining is a less environmental destructive means of gaining access to a ore deposit, because unlike the surface mining in which you have to remove the overburden and then the waste rock, they are being packed or they are being littered into the ground. But this one is through tunnels or shafts, and those tunnels or shafts, they are not as environmentally destructive as that of surface mining. So it is often more costly, because for you to be able to dig the tunnels and the shaft, that it serves as the way of accessing all those minerals, is a costly method, and it entails greater safety risks than open pit mining. While most large-scale mining methods involved open pit mining, many large underground mines are in operation around the world. So what this is telling us is that the commonest method of mining that we use is open pit mining or surface mining. But underground mining also are being used, but it's not as common as open pit or surface mining. All right, so we have looked at the concept of sustainability. We have been able to know that sustainability is just the ability for us to be able to use the present resources without destroying the future generations. And then mining is just the method of extracting minerals of interest from the earth. And we have two major types of mining: the surface mining and then the underground mining. So now let's now look at the concept of sustainable mining. What is sustainable mining? Sustainable mining is an objective as well as a tool for balancing economic, social, and environmental considerations during mining activities. So when we are defining what is the concept of sustainability, we said there are three pillars of sustainability: the economic, the social, and then the environmental. So when we are talking about sustainable mining too, those are the three major things in which we focus on. So our mining must be sustainable in a social method, economical method, and then in an environmental method. Sustainable mining is based on design and the build of mining system methods, equipment, technologies, management to perform optimally in the following context. So what this is telling us is that when we are talking about sustainable mining, we must be able to bring this together: equipment. So our mining must be sustainable through the equipment that we use, the technology that we use, and then they are optimally performed in the following context. That is the technical performance. So the technical performance must be excellent. For you to have a mining that is sustainable, the technical performance must be excellent, your economic performance must be excellent, the environmental performance must be excellent, and then the social performance must also be excellent. So when we talk about the social, we talk about the people. So your mining, for your mining to be sustainable, it must not have a negative impact on the people, both the employee and then the people that are living around the place. For your mining to be sustainable, it must not contribute to the negative impact to the environment. For your mining to be sustainable, the economic, that is the profit that you get from the mining, must be much, and then the technical performance must be excellent too. All right, sustainable mining refers to the mining operations that are economically, environmentally, and socially sustainable. So those are the three basic pillars of sustainable mining. It must be economically, environmentally, and socially sustainable. Mining generally ends up depleting the resource it uses and is characterized by negative impacts. So as we have defined mining earlier on, that mining is just the way of extracting mineral resources of interest. So when you are extracting those things, there's some depletion of the resources that are being done. So, and it, in one way or the other, it will have a negative impact, whether to the people, to the environment. So the mining process is extremely demanding on resources, such as water, land, energy, and human. So when we are doing our mining, these are the major resources that are at the receiving end, the water. So when you are mining, in one way or the other, your mining operations will have impacts, whether negative or positive, to the water bodies. It will have an impact, whether negative or positive, to the land. It will have an impact, whether negative or positive, to the energy, because for you to mine, there are some various sources of energy, and then to the human as well. Sustainable mining is therefore aimed at enhancing the benefits while mitigating the negative impact on water, land, energy, and human. So for the mining to be sustainable, these are the focus, these are the focal points. So when you are doing your mining and you want your mining to be sustainable, it must be aimed at enhancing the benefits while mitigating the negative impacts on the water, on land, on energy, and human, both when mining is taking place as well as during the processing of the minerals. The environmental and social degradation that results from the mining process prevents industry from complying with the sustainable mining operations. So basically, when we are doing mining activities, the environmental and then the social degradation are always the result. All right. So, and then for a company to be able to comply to all these the legal framework that are governing the mining activities, so it must take note of the environmental and then the social aspect. So, what are the sustainable mining practices? The sustainable mining practices. The practices of sustainable mining can be categorized under the following elements. So these are the 5 basic elements, 5 major elements in which the sustainable mining practices are focused on. Safety. The first one is safety. The second one, economy. The third one, efficiency. The fourth one, environment. And then the 51 community. So the chart at the right answer is just showing the relationship between all these elements: the economy, the environment, the community, the safety, and the efficiency. So these are the elements that makes up the sustainable mining practices, and we are going to be looking at them one by one, starting from the safety. So when we talk about the safety in sustainable mining, for both ethical and business reasons, a mining operation should aim to prioritize safety. So this should be the priority of any mining activity. So when you are doing your mining operation, the first thing for you to prioritize is the safety of the workers, the safety of the machinery or the equipment you are going to be using, and the safety of maybe people that are visiting the mining site. So that should be the major priority of a mining company: safety. Characteristics of safe mining includes a commitment to risk management. So when you are talking about safety in mining operations, you must be committed to risk management. There are various risks that are associated with mining. So your ability to be able to manage them will tell you whether you are practicing a safety type kind of mining or not. Also, appropriate attitudes and behaviors. You should be able to manage the attitudes and behaviors of the miners, or the people, of the workers, the personnel that are working in your mining site. You must be able to, you must be committed to manage their attitudes and behaviors. Reporting system needs to be in place. A focus on education and training, and a focus on processes and equipment. So for you to have a safety and mining operations, these are the major characteristics that you must focus on. First is the risk management. There are various risks that are associated with mining. So you must be able to manage them so that you have a safety working environment. Also, the attitude and behaviors of the workers, of the personnel, they must have a good attitude towards work. The reporting system needs to be put in place. So when a single thing goes wrong or something is not working well, there must be a good reporting system for you to have a safety working environment. A focus on education and training. You must be able to educate and train your personnel very well on the safety methods of mining. And then the focus on processes and equipment. So we must make sure that maybe every day or regularly, you must be able to service your equipment that you are using for you to have a safety working environment. So the second element of sustainable mining practices is the economy. Unless a mine is profitable, it cannot be sustainable. Yeah. So if you don't have a profitable mining operations, it cannot be sustainable. You will just see that maybe you run into debt as time goes on. So for us to have a sustainable mining, it must be profitable. The aim for mine management is for generation of profit responsibly as long as possible by keeping costs to a minimum while maximizing revenue. So when we are talking about when a mine is profitable, it must be able to keep costs to a minimum level and then maximizing the revenue. So the cost of production must be less than what you are getting from the mining operations. And this will also maximize the equitable benefit to all stakeholders, including shareholders, the employees, the local community and the businesses, as well as the government that benefits by means of taxes and royalties. All right, so the third element of sustainable mining practices is resource efficiency. A mine also has to be efficient in the way the resource is managed and extracted. So there are some level of efficiency in which you must attend to when you are mining. And mining engineers, the geologists, and metallurgists collaborate to optimize resource extraction. So these are the personnel, these are the professionals that are put in place when you want your resource to be efficient. The mining engineers must be on site, the geologists must be on site, and then the metallurgists, they must collaborate for us to have an optimized or optimal resource extraction. Efficiency also encompasses the management dimension of a mine site, as poor management decisions can often lead to production difficulties or equipment breakdown or industrial relations or other factors that impact on optimum resource extraction. So there must be some management skills that must be that are put in place too, as poor management decisions can lead to production difficulties. So if a decision is poor, a management decision, if it is poor or is not right, it can lead to production difficulties or equipment breakdown or industrial relations or other factors that impact on optimal resource extraction. All right, so the next element we are going to be talking about when we are talking about the sustainable mining practices is the environment. The environment. Adopting leading environmental management practices on mine site makes excellent business sense. Unless steps are taken in the planning on operational stages to protect environmental values, long-term liabilities such as acid mine drainage may result. So when you are mining, during your mining activities, you must take note of the environment. And when we talk about the environment, we talk about the biodiversity, we talk about the land, we talk about the water, and we talk about even the social environment. So when you are mining, you must take all these elements into consideration, and you must protect your environment values. You must make sure that your mining activities, they are not having a negative impact on the environment, and for you to have a good working environment. And then the next sustainable mining practice we are going to be talking about is the community. Community. A mine needs a social license to operate. And what do we mean by social license? Social license is just the degree of acceptability of the mine site to the people, to the host community, basically. So the host community, the community that are hosting your mining site, are they happy with the operations that are going on? So that defines the social license. So if they are not happy with it, there are some level of damage which they can do to your mining. They can just decide in a day to shut down your mining operations because your mining activity does not have a social license. So a mine needs a social license to operate. Unless the hosting community is engaged and supportive of a mining operations, opposition and confrontation may ensue. So these are all the elements that must be put in place for you to have a sustainable mining practices. All right, so what are the sustainable mining activities? So what are the activities that must be done for us to have a sustainable mining operations? The activities that are involved in sustainable mining activities, they include implement and maintain ethical mining practices. So there are some standards, there are some practices, there are some procedures that must be followed during mining operations. So those ethical practices and procedures must be implemented and maintained strictly. And sound system of mining operations. Integrate sustainable development considerations within the corporate decision-making process. So when you are making decisions at various angles, at various lengths, you must integrate sustainable development for you to have a sustainable mining activities. Implement risk management strategies based on valid data and sound science. So there are some risk management strategies that must be put in place as well on a mine for you to have a sustainable mining operations. We must also uphold fundamental human rights and respect cultures. So this is where the social aspect of the environment comes in. So as much as possible, we must be able to uphold the fundamental human rights of both the employee and then the community that is hosting your mine. And you must respect their cultures. So as much as possible for you to have a sustainable mining operations, the fundamental human rights of the employee and the community must be upheld, and then you must respect the culture. Your mining activities must not have a negative impact on their culture, so that you will have a social license as we have discussed earlier. Strict adherence to the legal framework guiding the mining activities. So, for example, in Nigeria, we have some legal frameworks that are guiding the activities, the mining operations. So you must make sure that your mining operations, they adhere strictly to these legal frameworks for you to have a sustainable mining. And then continual improvement of our environmental performance. So we must be cognizant of the environment when you are mining. You must try to improve it. You must try to enhance the benefits, and then try as much as possible to minimize the negative impact. It must also contribute to conservation of biodiversity and integrated approaches to land use planning. So as much as possible, we must conserve the biodiversity of the environment of your mining, of your mine. And then we must facilitate and encourage the responsible product design, use, reuse, recycling, and disposal of products. So you must facilitate and encourage the responsible product design. So your product design must be a very good one for you to have a sustainable mining operations. And then you must contribute to the social, the economic, and the institutional development of the host communities. So as much as possible, as you are doing your mining activities, you must make sure that you contribute to the social, the economic, and then the institutional development of the host communities. So there are some things in which you must do to the host community in which is hosting your mine. So as much as possible, you must contribute to their social development, to their economic development. You must, maybe you want to construct roads for them. Maybe there's a percentage of the employee of the mine that must come from the community. So in different dimensions, you must just make sure that you contribute to the social, to the economic, and then the institutional development of your host communities. You must also address land, resettlement, and other social impact. So maybe when you want to establish your mine or your quarry, there are some resettlement that you must make. So you must address the resettlement very well, and then some other social impact must be addressed for you to have a sustainable mining operations. Community engagement and contribution to social economic development is also important. So you must engage the community, your hosting community. You must engage them in a positive way, actually, and then you must contribute to their social economic development. Mine closure and then post-closure mining operations must be prepared. So before you start your mining at all, you must have prepared the mine closure operations. So what are the steps in which you are going to take for you to do your mine closure? And then, so before you start your mining, it must be prepared, it must be managed, and then must be progressively worked on as time goes on. So this chart is just showing us the factors that influence mining sector sustainability, the major factors that influence the mining sector sustainability. So let's start from the health and safety. So for you to have a sustainable mining operations, you must address the health, you must focus on the health and safety of both the employee and then the people that are living around your mine. So for you to have a sustainable mining operations, you must have an effective engagement of the people that are living around your mining, around your mines. So you must engage them in a positive way. You must also have respect for indigenous people. You must also focus on the environment. Your mining operations must not have a negative impact on the environment. You must rather improve, enhance the benefit and the positive impact. And then full mine or operation life cycle. So you must have prepared the operation life cycle. Okay, how long is my mining operation? How long is it going to take? What are the things in which I have to do for me to sustain it? So you must have that on ground. Resource use efficiency. So the resources in which you are going to be using, you must be efficient in the usage of those resources. Continuous learning and adaptation. So this continuous learning is where the training of the staff comes in. So there must be some level of education or training in which you must give to the staff for you to have an optimum working environment. And then the economic benefit, of course, the purpose of mining is for us to profit from the operations. So we must make sure for us to have a sustainable mining activities, it must have a economic advantage. So in conclusion to this first aspect, the principles of sustainable mining is important in all stages of mine life cycle, from exploration stage to the mine closure activities. So when you want to design the sustainable mining activities, it must be end encompassing. That is not from the exploration stage to the mine closure stage. And then this principle, if strictly adhered to, because we have some principles, we have some guidelines in which we must follow, the procedures that has been laid down, both legally and then socially. So if these principles, if they have been strictly adhered to, it will help to assist the mining industry to maximize the opportunities for economic, social, and then the environmental development. And this principle, it will help us to minimize the environmental and social impact of mining, and then increase the sustainable use of minerals. All right, so the second thing we are going to be looking at this morning is the safety methods in mining. So we are going to be looking at different safety methods when we are mining. All right, so what is mine safety? By way of introduction, mine safety refers to the management of operations and events within the mining industry. So within the mining industry, there are some management activities that must be done, and these management activities are to protect the miners by minimizing the hazard, the risk, and the accident. So this is basically what mine safety is. It just various activities of management of operations and events within the mining industry for protecting the miners, basically. So mining safety is for the miners, the people that are working in your mines, and for to protect them by minimizing the hazards. There are different hazards that are associated with mining activities, risk, and then accident. Mine safety is designed to prevent death, disease, and injury in the mining industry, and to promote safe workplaces for the miners. So mine safety is designed to prevent death as much as possible, to prevent disease as much as possible, to prevent injury as much as possible in the mining industry, and then to promote a safe workplaces for the miners. Mine safety covers a number of issues and topics affecting safety of personnel and equipment in the mining industry. So mine safety does not only focus on the miners, only, the workers only. It also focuses on the equipment that is being used. So as much as possible, as much as you are safeguarding the lives of the people, of the personnel that are working in your mining, in your mines, equipment also are very important. So you must safeguard the equipment. And mine safety is one of the ways in which sustainable mining can be achieved. As the broad topic for today is sustainability in the mining sector. So mine safety is one of the ways in which this sustainable mining can be achieved. Every year, there's a statistic that shows that every year, thousands of miners die in accidents and many more get injured, especially in the processes of coal mining and hard rock mining. So worldwide, according to the statistics, there are thousands of people that die, thousands of workers, people that are working in the mining sector that die due to accidents, and many have gotten injury. most especially in the coal mining sector and then the hard rock mining. And some of the causes of the accidents include gas explosions. So these are some of the things that cause the accident, that cause death and injury in the mining sector. Gas explosions. There are some when we are mining, we use some kind of gases, and then if those gases, if the normal procedure standards are not being employed to use them, it might leads to an explosion. So this is one of the causes of accidents in mining. Gas intoxications, dust, improper use of explosive, electrical burns, fires, collapsing of mine structures, rock falls from roofs and sidewalks, flooding, workers stumbling or slipping or falling, or errors from malfunctioning or improper used mining equipment. So these are some of the causes of accidents in the mining sector. All right, so this is a chart that is showing the statistics of death of coal miners between 2000 and 2006 in China. So as you can see, the first chart in 2000, there are 5,798 people that died due to the accident that occurred during the mining operations. In 2001, 5,670 people died. In 2002, 6,995 people died. In 2003, 6,434 people died. In 2004, 6,027 people died. In 2005, 5,986 people died. And in 2006, 4,746 people died due to some accident that occur in mining operations. So for us to be able to reduce this number of casualties of co-workers or of mine workers generally, we must be able to apply some mine safety methods. So what is accident and safety? Of course, these are accident are the causes of death or injury in mining. These are unplanned. So accidents are unplanned. Of course, accidents are not planned. Nobody is planning to have accident. So they are unplanned and unexpected occurrence that interrupts the work activities as they may or may not result in injury or loss. So accidents are just occurrences that are not planned or they are not expected, but of course they happen, maybe due to some mistakes here and there, and they interrupt the work activities as they may or they may not result in injury or loss. So during accident, they may result to injury, they may result to death or not, as the case may be. And then when we are talking about safety, safety is the state of the mind for awareness of injury. So safety goes beyond the methods, goes beyond the things that have been put in place. It is a state of mind for awareness of injury. So if you have a state of mind or a safety state of mind, you'll be able to adhere strictly to all those things in which all those procedures that have been put in place to ensure safety. And safety include both the mine safety and then the employee safety. So what are the factors that are controlling safety? Good planning. So for us to have a good, safety, for safety to occur in a mining sector, in the mining activities, there must be good plans that must have been put in place to prevent any accident from occurring. Another factor that is controlling safety is the equipping of the personnel. And when we are talking about the equipping the personnel, we are talking about the both training and then equipping them with PPEs. So when you are employing a worker to work in your mines, you must train them, you must give them a good education on what it entails to for them to have a good working environment, and you must equip them with PPEs. PPE means personal protective equipment. So there are some equipment in which you must give to them so that you'll be able to prevent them, they'll be able to be safe from accident or injuries. And there are some devices technology. So that's the third controlling factors. Devices technologies, that is preventive measures. You must put in place some kind of technology, preventive measures that will not allow any accident or any injury to occur during mining activities. All right. So what are mine accidents? Accidents do occur, but they are caused. Of course, something must cause and something must happen for an accident to take place. So accidents do occur, but they are caused. Study has shown that about 85% of mine accidents are caused by human error. Imagine human error maybe due to improper training, or maybe they are not using their PPEs or some other human errors. So 85% of mine accidents, imagine, are caused by human error. And in open cast mining, that is surface mining, majority of accidents are caused by heavy earth moving machineries. So some of the accidents that are caused in surface mining are due to the improper use of the heavy earth moving machineries, or maybe the machinery, maybe they are faulty and they are not being repaired on time. So most of the cases of accident in which we have in open cast mining are due to these machineries that are being used on site. And the types of mine accidents include fatal accidents. Fatal accidents are accidents that could result to loss of lives, serious bodily injuries. This could result in permanent loss of any part of the body, permanent loss of sight or hearing, fracture or any joint or bones, and then minor injuries. This could result in not serious bodily injury. So these are the three type of mine accident, types of mine accident that may occur in a mining industry. Accident, fatal accident that result to loss of lives, in which the person that the accident affect might die, and then serious bodily injuries, maybe the person will lose one or two parts of the body, and then minor injuries are just cause that they are not serious body injuries, maybe just a scratch or something. All right. So what are the causes of mine accident? The causes of mine accident can be categorized into 5 major types. The first one is task, environment, the material that is being used, the personnel, that is the worker, the people that are working in the mining, that are working in the mining operations, and then the management. So let's look at them one by one. Task. This may include non-compliance with safe work procedures. So actually, in the mining sector, there are some procedures that have been put in place for us to have a safe working environment. But if all those procedures are not being complied to, it might result to mine accidents, faulty or damaged tools and materials. So if the tools and materials that are being used are being damaged, they are not in good working conditions, it might result to accident too. Non-usage of safety devices. Maybe the management does not provide it for them, or they have provided it and then the personnel, the workers refuse to use it. So it might result to accident too during mining operations. The second the second thing that can lead to accident in mining is materials. The materials that are being used, and it includes the equipment or the machinery failure. Maybe the machinery that is being used failed. Maybe they are during the operations, they're just a failure in the machinery. It might result to accident too. Hazardous materials. Of course, there's some hazardous materials that are being used in mining operations. If they are not being used very well, it might result to accident. The usage of substandard raw materials, maybe for them to cut the cost of production, they are using some standard materials. It could lead to accident too in mining operations. And then the non-usage or wrong usage of PPEs, maybe the workers are not using it, or they are not using it in the right way. It might result to accident too during mining operations. All right. So this caption is just telling us that PPE is incredibly important because it provides a last line of defense against injury, and it can save your life. So as small as a PPE might be, it's very important. It might be able to save your life during an accident or something during your mining operation. So as much as possible, you must make sure that your PPE, you use your PPE in the right way. All right. So another thing that contribute to accident is environment, the working environment. For example, the working the weather condition. If there is no favorable weather condition, it might lead to accident in mining. To poor housekeeping. If maybe the generator house is just being littered with some kind of metals, it can lead to accident to noise, poor lighting, presence of hazardous or toxic gases, dust or fumes in the environment or in the environment which you are working. And also the personnel too. And the personnel includes the inexperienced workers. So if an inexperienced worker is working in the mining activities, a worker does not know how to use some substances or how to use some machineries that are not experienced in some ways, it might result to accident too, because they might not have the proper know-how of those kind of machinery or equipment. Lack of or pure training. So if your personnel are not properly trained, it might lead to an accident too. Health status of the workers. If the workers, if they don't have their health condition is bad, they might not be able to work properly. Or if they are being stressed, when someone is stressed, they might not know the right thing to do at the right time. So it can lead to accidents during mining operations. And then management, poor enforcement of rules. So if the management does not enforce some kind of rules like the usage of PPEs, so when as a manager in a mining company, you must be able to enforce some kind of rules. You must be able on the workers. Also, lack of regular safety inspection, and then lack of or poor regular maintenance of equipment. So as a manager in the mining sector, you must make sure that the equipment you are using are being regularly maintained. They are in a good working conditions to prevent accidents during mining operations. And so what are the costs of accidents? What are the disadvantages that happen when accidents occur in mining operations? Damage to plant and machinery. Maybe you use a huge amount of money to buy a machinery, and then the machinery just got damaged. It will cost you. It will cost the mining company. Also, loss of materials. When accident occurs, some materials will be lost actually, and then loss of production. So you won't be able to meet up with the required target in which you have set for that particular moment. Also, loss of business as failure to meet the requirement of customers due to loss of production. So when you are not producing the required amount of products you have to produce, it might lead to loss of business. People that use your customers might lose interest in you, and then pain and suffering to the injured personnel or the workers and his family. So what is the concept of safety management development system? Safety management development system in mining. A safety management development system is a set of rules, guidelines, and then proper procedure that are developed and put in place to ensure that everyone in the workspace are working in a safe and secured environment. So this concept of safety management development system is very important for us to be able to have a safe working environment. So they are just a set of rules. So as a mining company, you must be able to set some rules, some guidelines, and some procedures that are developed and put in place to ensure that everyone in that that are involved in one way or the other in the mining operations, everyone, you must enforce it. Those set of rules, you must enforce it on them. The guidelines and the procedures, you must make sure that they follow it strictly in the workspace for us to have a safe and secured working environment. And this system is always in place to avoid accidents leading to equipment damage, downtime, production delay, serious injury, fatality, investigation, and irreparable damage to their reputation. So this safety management development system must be put in place to avoid accidents or incidents that might occur during the mining activities. And these are some of the key elements of safety management development system in mining. Safety policy, the hazard assessment, recognition and control, the general rules, responsibilities and policies, and then the preventive maintenance program. So in your safety management development system, you must have a safety policy. There must be a policy that must put on ground, a safety policy that everybody must follow. Everybody that is involved in your mining activities, in your mining operations must be followed. Also, there are some hazard assessment, recognition, and control that must be put in place. There are some technologies that can help you to detect hazard and can help you to detect, recognize, and then so that we're able to come up with control measures. And then there are some general rules, responsibility, and policies that you must put in place. And then your general preventive maintenance program. Mine safety can be categorized under the following safety operations. General safety. There are aspects of safety which are common to all types of mines. So in the mining sector, these are the safety operations that are being used. The general safety, the occupational safety, and health. In occupational safety and health, issues particularly associated to the mining, which include blasting explosives, ergonomics, diesel and dust control, airing laws, etc. So these are the things that are associated with the occupational safety and health, and then process and production safety, safety within the process that are associated with mining, and then workplace safety, these are the safety issues that are directly related to the workplace, especially ventilation. So the fifth one is fire and explosion safety. In particular, the risks associated with fires and explosions in the mining industry, and then the structural safety, and then the environmental safety. And then environmental safety is very important because the environment in which you are working must be very safe for you to have a good output. All right, so what are the safety measures in mining? What are the safety measures that must be put in place? The first is fit to purpose equipment. You must make sure that the right equipment are being used for the right purpose, that they are being used for the right operations. You must not manage an equipment. You must make sure that the equipment in which you are using for a particular purpose is meant for that purpose. So that's the first safety measure that must be complied with during mining operations. The second one is suitable work method. So the working method must be suitable enough. There must be some basic facilities that must be put on ground to ensure safety in mining. Another one is controlled work environment. So the working environment must be controlled. It must be controlled. And then the location and control of hazard. Another one is risk management and control. So you must be able to assess your risk and then control them as much as possible. Of course, risks are inevitable during mining operations, but your ability to be able to assess, to recognize, and then to control them, to make sure that you have a safe mining working environment, and then be able to attain your sustainable mining methods. And then another one is communication of work policy. So as much as possible, we'll be able to communicate the work policy to the personnel as much as possible. Okay, this is what we want to do today. This is the channel in which we want to work through. This is if something occurs, this is the person you must report to. If this is occur, make sure you report. So those are the communication channels in which we must use for us to ensure a safety mining environment. Another one is inspection system. Inspection system, which includes the inspection of machines that are being used or the equipment that are being used. So there must be a regular inspection system that must be on ground to check the machinery that are being used during mining operations. Also, the inspection of the mine itself. So there must be a system in which you'll be able to inspect the mines itself and then the workers, so that the workers will be able to adhere strictly to the procedures and the guidelines in which you are put in place. And also enforcing the usage of personal protective equipment, PPEs. So this is also one of the safety measures in mining. All the PPEs that are required to be used during mining operations, you must enforce it. You must make sure that everybody are using all those equipment. Regular training of the workers on health, safety, and environment. So you must make sure that you train your workers regularly. There are some education you must give to them on health, safety, and environment of the mining operation, and then maintenance of various safety devices. Of course, there are some safety devices that you must put in place in your mines. So we must ensure that they are being put in place and that they are being maintained, so that to ensure that good working conditions. So in conclusion, accidents are inevitable during mining operations. So we can't do without accidents. They are inevitable because we work with some things, some hazardous substances. So the preventive and corrective safety measures are thus the best methods to ensure no or minimal loss due to accidents during mining operations. So as I said, that accidents are inevitable, but your ability to be able to put in place some preventive and corrective measures will give you a sustainable mining operation and ensure that no or minimal loss occur during your mining activities. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening.